The city of Austin strikes again. Check this out from the Texas scorecard. Austin City Council passes resolution making the city a sanctuary for child gender mutilation. So read this article here. Austin City Council members have approved a resolution making the state's capital a sanctuary for gender mutilation procedures and chemical castration, though the actual effect of the move may be limited. The resolution was sent to the council by the city's LGBTQ 12345 plus Quality of Life Advisory Commission. It states that the policy of the city will be that no city personnel, funds, or resources will be used to investigate, criminally prosecute, or impose administrative penalties on gender-confused individuals seeking gender mutilative procedures, or an individual or organization attempting to assist the individual to receive the procedures. Even before the council meeting began, activists showed up outside City Hall to voice their opposition. One of those activists was Soren Aldasso, if I said that correctly, a detransitioner who as a minor was given cross-sex hormones and puberty blockers. Shortly after her 19th birthday, she underwent a double mastectomy that nearly killed her. Now she has filed a lawsuit against doctors who allegedly pressured her into adopting a transgender identity beginning at the age of 15. After experiencing no dearth of complications related to these treatments, I chose to make peace with my sex instead of fighting it. There you go. Make peace with who you are. I now have filed one of the first lawsuits of its kind, designed to hold the practitioners who transition me accountable. Aldasso also noticed that state law the recently enacted Senate Bill 14 prohibits gender mutilated procedures from being performed on minors, making the city's actions largely moot. This proposal is entirely ornamental, given that SB 14 is not enforced criminally and intentionally so, said Aldasso, referring to the state's law to the law's enforcement by the state medical board, not by local law enforcement. This proposal serves one purpose: to endorse the experimental medicine that pathologizes gender nonconformity and teaches children to internalize sexist stereotypes instead of uprooting them. Grant Miller, who detransitioned as a trans woman last November, agreed. Doctors across the country are putting children on blockers and hormones. They are chopping off breasts and they are mutilating children with so-called bottom surgery. Oh boy. They are placing them on hard drugs, turning them into lifelong patients. The doctors behind these castrations belong in jail, but Texas merely seeks to take away their licenses. There's no such thing as a gendered soul or trans child because no child was born the wrong way. Well said. And look, I talked to somebody a couple of weeks ago, and she said that the government, like state government, should not be getting involved in this. She says, yeah, I get it that you don't want kids transitioning, blah, 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 but that's telling people what to do with their bodies. Totally disagree with that nonsense. And I was in a place where I couldn't really push back like I wanted to, but I couldn't get into that at that time. But I completely disagree. Now, she did say something that I agree with, that the government should not be forcing vaccines on people. So I agree with her on that point. But as far as kids transitioning, minors, people under 18, a 15-year-old, a 7-year-old should not be able to make that decision. And I think the government, state governments especially, need to step in, like Texas has and many other red states have, and say, no, you can't do that. Let's see, let's keep going here. Michelle Evans, the incoming Williamson County GOP chair and Round Rock chapter chair for Independent Women's Network, blasted the council members pushing the resolution. The enforcement of this law rests not with any city department or agency, but rather the Texas Medical Board. Yet, 5 woefully uninformed and ideologically driven council members find it somehow meaningful to profess their beliefs in the importance of these barbaric services and procedures, which have been soundly rejected by science and other civilized countries as ineffective and unethical, said Evans. Yes. Evans also read aloud a statement from State Rep Brian Harrison to the council. in which he warned that such actions make it abundantly clear that this council is unfit to manage the capital city of the greatest state in our country. Yes, well said. They're unfit. Why are these people in charge of the city of Austin? We have the greatest state in the country. This is my opinion. I love the state of Texas. Great place to live. I can say so many things about this place. I love it. But Austin is weird for a lot of reasons. And these people just love their little sanctuary of liberalism. And look, if you're a liberal, that's fine if you're liberal on certain issues, but being far left loonies like this, electing these people to your city council, is nuts. If this resolution passes, the state should also consider enacting legislation to make any council member who votes for resolutions like this personally liable for any costs associated with harms resulting from the de facto sanctioning and facilitation of these illegal procedures, which result in the mutilation of children and cause them to needlessly become lifelong medical patients. Yeah, totally unnecessary. You don't need this. People becoming lifelong patients to this nonsense, causing all kinds of medical issues, mental issues on top of that. Following lengthy public comment, members approved the resolution on a 9-1 vote, with only Councilmember Mackenzie Kelly voting in opposition. Terrible. Only one member. In response, AG Ken Paxton called the resolution an empty political statement, but vowed to ensure that SB 14 was enforced throughout the state. If the city of Austin refuses to follow the law and protect children, my office will consider every possible response to ensure compliance. Texas municipalities do not have the authority to pick and choose which state laws they will or will not abide by. The people of Texas have spoken, and Austin City Council must listen. Yes, I love our Attorney General, Ken Paxton. The guy's a patriot. He stands up for Texas and he fights hard for the state. This is what SB 14 does. SB 14 prohibits physicians and other licensed medical professionals from performing certain procedures and providing certain treatments to patients younger than 18 years of age for gender transitioning, gender reassignment, or gender dysphoria. SB 14 prohibits puberty blockers, hormone therapy that induces transient or permanent infertility, sterilization surgeries, mastectomies, and the removal of any otherwise healthy or non-diseased body part or tissue for the purpose of transitioning a child's biological sex. The bill also prohibits the use of public money or public assistance to provide such treatments, and it further prohibits Medicaid and child health plan reimbursement for these treatments. The Texas Medical Board is directed to revoke the licenses of medical professionals who provide such services. This went into law this past legislative session. Greg Abbott signed it, I believe, in June, and it took effect on September 1st, 2023. This is why it's so important to vote at the local and state level, because of bills like this. If you want to look, yes, I get it. We should not have gotten to this point here where we have to pass laws to prevent children from transitioning. But if that's what it takes, and that's what we have to do. If we have to fight back at the state level against this nonsense to shield your local and your city and state, wherever you live, from left-wing nonsense, voting is very important. And that's why I vote in every single election, from city council even though I don't have children, I still vote in the school board elections, because it's very important that we don't indoctrinate our kids and that we have conservative people in those roles. City council, I vote for the most conservative people, which is my city is run extremely well. Great mayor, great city council. We have a great school board who has pushed back on a lot of this nonsense, this DEI nonsense and this woke agenda. And laws like this are what keep states, I guess, keep them sane, keep them normal, keep life normal, and prevent this nonsense from going on. So it's important you get out there and vote. And whatever you think about Greg Abbott, he's not perfect, and I've said this multiple times. He's not perfect, but he has passed some great bills, and this is one of them right here, to protect children from being able to be transitioned. And then we saw the story, I believe I reported on it early last year, of the woman who, because they knew this was coming, so she moved to California or something. She took her son to California so he can get transitioned something like that. But yeah, BS story right there. But all right, guys, I'm going to leave that right there. Like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. Take care.